Somehow, a group of offspring born between the years of 1981 and 1996 had determined that they would be better than the generation before them. We knew what jobs we wanted, who our familiar units would consist of, what lifestyles we wanted to indulge in. Hell, we participated in one of the most pivotal moments in technology with the boom of the internet. Some of us went off to live the very lives we had envisioned for ourselves from adolescent years. And some of us are me. Join me, your homegirl Shamir, and my curated group of coveted friends and guests as we discuss our millennial mishaps in hopes to gain insight, spark or re-spark motivation, and hopefully drop some jewels for the next generation. This is Millennial Misfits.
Hola, mi amigas and mi amigos, mi M-A-E-M-As, my misfits, my whatever y'all want to call yourselves. So just make sure that y'all leaving notes on what the gang is going to be called. It's a good day in the Millennial Misfits uni. I am your Sherpa, if you will, Shamir, and I am highly intoxicated off of dopamine. Number on the scale is going down. Woke up with breath this morning, and it's a good day. It's a good day. Despite a couple of drawbacks, it's still a good day. And I hope you all have been having a fantastic, productive week. I always have some bull crap to tell y'all. So I was supposed to be working Gen Con this year, and it was through a staffing agency. So they made me go into the office for things that could have been completely remote for onboarding. You know how it goes. Once again, I have signed up for something that I was told one thing over the phone, and then I get there, it's something else. And at first I was going to rock with it. I got on the phone, the recruiter told me that there was a mandatory training that had to be attended prior to the event, and that it would be 1 hour from 2 to 3. She even specified the hours of which it would be. I get there, they're like, no, it's actually 2 to 4 hours, and it's actually from 3 to 7. You want to arrange for it from 3 to 7. And I'm like, that's not what I planned for. But anyway, you know what? I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out because I'm in no position to be picky right now. I am in a very humble moment in my life. And, I want to work Gen Con. So, I do what I have to do to get this temporary assignment done. I get past that. Then I get an email yesterday that told me that I had to attend the training, but I was on call. We sat there and discussed the schedule. It would have been 36 hours. How do you go from having to attend a training and not knowing if you would be called for the remainder of the event? I was over it at that time, so I popped off a little email. Y'all know I am good for popping off a letter. So I popped me off a little letter. I said, hey, thanks for the opportunity, but this has been the second miscommunication by the company. So at this time, I no longer want to continue our partnership. But I do wish you the best on your event, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Because I'm petty like that, but still, so now I just cut myself off, a couple of dollars there. But I'm not, who knows if I was going to have those couple of dollars. That's the issue. Anyway, I'm over it. I'm just trying to be if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just trying to pop off my real estate career. I really have no interest in anything other than that. But I digress, as usual. Did you guys get enough sleep? Did you eat today? Here's your friendly reminder. Myself, I've been going crazy for this new craze, but not really. It's a sandwich called the tunicado from Joe and the Juice, and I have no idea what I'm talking about because I don't think I'm anywhere near Joe and the Juice. That just goes to show you the effect of social media. Anywho, I'm not a big fan of avocado, but I love me a good Tony sandwich. That's what my kids call it, a Tony sandwich. The one from Jimmy John's was a hit for me because they put cucumbers on it, and from this moment on, known as Cukes here. So that's how I started making it at home. Well, essentially, I turned it into a tunich, is what we call it. So you still get the pesto, you get the tuna mousse, but with albacore, spinach, tomato, and cukes on your choice of toasted bread. Oh my God, it is freaking delicious. Even my girls love it. I love pesto, and that's like my hot sauce. I will put that ish on anything. I love it in pasta. I love it on turkey BLTs. So this was an easy hit for me. Speaking of turkey BLTs, my first interaction with the combo is at a local bistro here called Cafe Petacho. Petacho, you gotta say it like that. Petacho. Petacho. I honestly don't know how it's pronounced. It's Petacho, Petacho, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. It's a house-made jalapeno pesto. And how do I know? Well, I used to gig work there in their prep kitchen. I dishwash there as well, so on those days, I'm for sure indulgent in the perky perks. And I requested it once on the turkey BLT, and OMG, it's my favorite meal there. I get it every time. And as a matter of fact, I have been needing to get there, but I don't want to take it to go. Petacho is a whole vibe, like a whole vibe. It's what is it called? It's like an adult student union. It's got the vibes of like a college campus cafeteria, if you will, but like just a relaxing setting. And I've gone by my lonesome, and I really love the environment there. Issue recently is it's a distance from me now, and two, I've been yearning for companionship other than the old man and kiddos. During my stint as a quote-unquote stay-at-home mom, because I wasn't doing this and Sean was at work all day, I found that I was starting to lose whatever you develop while communicating with other adults. I didn't know how to talk to adults for a while. And I started to sound like a kid. Like, seriously. I'm a loner naturally, so being by myself is super okay and most often preferred. However, having the occasional outlet has been proven beneficial. I don't have those girlfriends that I can call up and say, hey girl, let's go grab lunch, for one reason or another. One party's fault over another. I admittedly have attempted the whole Tinder of friendships by trying out Bumble. It for sure has to be like dating, because what do I know about dating, honestly, at the end of the day? But it's what I assume all that mess would be. My prayers are that I'll remain kept and not have to experience that, but once again, I digress. Just please kick me, babe. I don't want to go back to the strip clubs, damn it. I tried that ish about 3 times, and all 3 to no avail. The first time, I met a chick who seemed really dope. Let's call her Tiff. And me and Tiff meshed heavy. So we took it offline. Wink, wink. We took it offline. I sent her my number. Like, girl, let me get your number so we could text. So, she was from Connecticut, if I recall correctly, and just moved here. She was living with her guy. I think she was like 29. So, roughly in my age, about to hit the 30s. But no kids, which was my first red flags, but super cool. I mean, I got friends with no kids, and she's at the age where she obviously, we'll get to that, but she wanted to have kids, so we could mesh. But that was my red flag, first strike. She hit me up, like called me, doo, bueno, hello, and started venting about the fact that her boyfriend's ex was being petty about them being together. The standard BS that you may have to deal with when you're getting with somebody's most recent ex or whatever the case may be. My position as a friend is to let you vent, then attempt to be the voice of reason, or at least the voice I always yearn for when I'm faced with adversity and need a friend to bounce ideas off of. I didn't think it was worth the energy at the moment, so that was my advice. Just keep it cute, keep it moving, but always keep it on the swivel. Cool. Second strike. She calls me, I want to say a couple of days later, and told me she was pregnant. I'm like, oh my God, congratulations. This is divine intervention, because what are the chances? Ask all the questions. How are you doing? How is baby doing? How is baby's dad doing? This is so exciting. I'll mention at this time, we haven't had a chance to link up in person yet, so it's just calls, FaceTimes, texts, like dating, right? Right. Let's get together for lunch when you have a chance, patacho, and celebrate on me. We schedule a date, bet. Final strike. This woman called me and starts releasing all of her frustration with the fact that she lost her baby. She lost her baby, and her guy didn't seem to give a what about it. She was in tears and just yelling and just completely and understandably upset if this is indeed what happened. So I'm like flabbergasted at this point. And when I reach a flabbergasted state, there isn't a dictionary in the world that will assist me in recovering my vocabulary bank. I'm lost. Map. She hangs up for one reason or another. She says she's going for a drive. Okay, cool, click. Calls me back, and she starts going in on a search for the fellas. I mean, she is full blown city girl activated at this point. Girl, I don't know where I am, but I'm about to pull up on the guys. Girl, where are all the guys at? You know the word I'm trying to say, but where are the guys? My inquiry is, where TF are you? She says, I just got off on Post Road. Post Road. Post Road. She told me she lived in Canby. Now, if you are from Indy, or if you know anything about Indy, you know what this means. And if not, well, we'll have you know that Canby is a predominantly guyless southwestern suburb, ducked off but not too far from the airport and other well-to-do areas such as Plainfield, Avon, a little short drive to Greenwood. So, just a little ducked off suburb. She drove all the way to the far east side. The far east side of Indianapolis. And if it's guys that you are looking for, then guys you will get. I'm so taken aback at this point. But then, oh my God. Then she starts describing my man, like my actual man. Mind you, we all have never met before, ever. This girl's new. We don't know this girl. He at this point, Sean don't even know that I'm, entertaining friendships on Bumble. I'm cheating on the Bumble. But yeah, so he don't even know. But anyway, so she started describing my man, like she's about dreadhead and all talk to but she's indicating that he's the type she'll drop trousers for. Whoa. Yeah, it's checkout time. Alright, I'ma head out. Because this is not conducive of the type of friendships I look to cultivate right now. We classy base over here. Or at least we fake it until we make it. Okay? I canceled my trial period, if you will. Let the convo fizzled out and ended up deleting her contact. And I never told her why. I just immaturely ghosted her and drifted off into the night. So, girl, if divine intervention occurs here and you so happen to listen to this, girl, I was not going. We were not equally yoked at all, babes. But I wish you the best. I really did think you were cool. And I really thought we could have a friendship. But, that's okay. Second and third times, nothing ever went really past text convo. And I can recognize the fact that maybe I'm not as open as I need to be if indeed want to make friends. Tried that the third time. I think I'm good. Now, I know I can't be the only misfit that has a tough time establishing new connects. So, tell us all about your hit or misses. All the good stories and the good details in the comments. This is a great place to segue into the meat and potatoes of our convo today, and that's how are we even feeling about this whole thing? And whether your pal circle is that of a period or you are vastly connected, do you feel the need to create new friendships and new relationships at our ages? Or should we just be nurturing the ones that we have? Or does it even matter? I originally planned this episode with the anticipation of having a guest or two on here, but I guess I'll be interviewing myself as usual. So, a couple of questions that I had on the docket. I'll run through them really quickly, and then we'll go in for the plunge. What do your current friend groups look like? How many friends do you currently have from childhood? How often are you interacting? Are the friends you have receptive of your consistency? How are you navigating friendships in adulthood? I'll answer the first question with the quickness. What friend group? The thing is, I never had groups of friends to begin with. Just a handful, and they weren't of the same circle. With that, it would be rare that you catch all of my friends in a group together. I was never a person to surround myself with buckets of people at a time in the first place, and that carried over into adulthood. Leading up to my second question, the 3 to 5 friends I made genuine connections with in adolescence are the 2 to 3 acquaintances slash associates I have now. I mean, I really hate to reduce them to such, but I'm sure they would agree. Do we really know the adult versions of each other? My personal observation is that a childhood friendship is enough to provide the foundation for adult friendships, but if we aren't consistently getting to know, or at least trying to get to know each other at each level we reach, we aid in the disconnect. A big factor in the lack of support we feel we receive sometimes is the supporter. In our minds, that person is still the person we once knew. And in a sense, of course. However, they have experienced just as much growth as you, one way or another, more or less. If you aren't in tune with that, you can't possibly expect to maintain a connection. Another factor in the aesthetic of my group is you have to find people that have similar situations or interests as you. Case in point, the young lady I told you about. She was ready to turn it loose. She was going to bust it open as soon as her guy let her down. As for me, I'm practically married. No disrespect to the marriages out there. No, don't come for me. Do not come for me. But that is not gonna rock. That's not gonna rock around here. That's not gonna fly. I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, no, we don't. We don't do that. Another woman I tried to connect with didn't have kids, only pets. And I mean, I definitely have a compassion for animals. We'll have to tell y'all about Tom, our little cat there, a little family cat that we had. Poor Tom. Anyway, that's another story for a different day. But I definitely have compassion for animals, don't get me wrong. But I'm one of the thought that they are not one of the same. And y'all can argue about that with your mama, okay? You can leave your pet for a little while and go have a good time. I can't leave my kids. There's a difference. But, I digress once again. One of my very best friends from childhood is a single male bachelor. And while we try to at least know where each other are, speak every now and again, it's admittedly difficult because we are on opposite ends of the spectrum. Like, we'll send each other memes and songs we made dances to in our childhood and new songs that sound like something we would have grew to back in the day, but it's very surface level. Now I'll have to reestablish a personal Facebook account to join Facebook groups is what it's looking like. Like, is this what my life has been reduced to? With that being said, I will have to admit my part in the aforesaid situation. I suck at maintaining communication, okay? I'll go on a hiatus and you will not hear from me for months, and those months will turn into years. You can ask my own mother, and I have multiple voicemails from her reminding me of how difficult it is to get a hold of me. And I promise I am working. I am a work in progress, and I'm going to get better. But with complete shame, I can be the first to admit that up to a point and for an extended period of time in my life was a complete shit show. This is where therapy comes into place for sure. I was an adult, but for multiple reasons of childhood trauma, I had a hard time accepting accountability for my life. Not realizing there is a difference between taking responsibility for what was done to you and taking accountability for your current life you now have control of. Who wants to talk to the people who hold them in high regard with absolutely nothing or nothing but bad shit to report? Who wants to watch other people take step after step, only you to stay stagnant? Your vision can only go so far. I don't want you to mistake it for jealousy or envy either. I love to see my people thrive and get the hell out of the predicaments we were born into. Get the out. It is the fear of judgment, even from the people who love you most. I feel like that I have let a lot of people down in my life. And when you set such a high bar for yourself all your life and been a high achiever in the earliest years of your life, all to become a statistic you swore to never become, it is embarrassing to say the least. And that lack of communication leads to disconnect but also leads to the lack of support you swear you have. There is no one around to hold you accountable because you won't let them. How are my friends receptive to my consistency? Well, we just don't talk much. It is what it is. Overall, the ability to trust has left me. I don't trust anyone as far as I can throw them, and as a former track runner, she's a track star. My focus was my legs. I have zero upper body strength. Okay, I'm trying to work on that too. You have to remain within my sights, and even then, I've been through an amazing amount of questionable situations, as I'm sure we all have, but it has completely disabled my ability to establish healthy adult relationships. So I'm going to break down what I have discovered on this episode, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Being equally yoked and like-minded, maintaining communication and allowing growth in current relationships, learning to be cognizant and identifying proper compartments for newer connections, and loosening up just a little bit, maybe. But what are your stories while navigating adult relationships? I want you guys to tell me all about it. If you have any similar discovery points, and as introverted as myself, let's try these tips out and report back how it works for us. If you are the opposite, please bottle up what you have and sell it to us for a Misfits discount, please, please. Speaking of Misfits, follow us, IG, YouTube, Millennial Misfits, actually all one word. I believe I said underscore in the last episode, and at that point it probably was, but I'm trying to make things as easy as possible for us. We do not need it any harder than we got it, okay? So it's all one word, Millennial Misfits with a Z. Email us any suggestions for the show, any questions or topics you want to discuss. If you'd like to discuss coming on the show, millennialmisfitspod@gmail.com. Until next time, it's been real. And I best see you guys on the next episode of Millennial Misfits. Okay, bye.